I watched Ted Lasso season 1. And you were right for recommending it to me because it was so much fun. Hello, my name is Joe and I review TV shows and movies online and at times record interesting videos. Anyway, I'm currently covering Silo, Squid Game, Ted Lasso, and a few other shows. Subscribe, join, not the family, it's a little bit too intimate, but subscribe to watch me rant about TV shows, and especially to witness my delusional theories that sometimes come true. But yeah, this time I'm doing something a bit different. Instead of reviewing a TV show that is currently coming out, I'm reviewing a TV show that has been out for a long time. I put out a poll on my channel about which TV show I should start with, and Ted Lasso won by a large margin, so I watched it. I've been meaning to watch this show for a long time because it was recommended to me by a friend. However, that person who recommended me Ted Lasso is a bit of a machist, and he has a crusade against Harry Styles, and he doesn't believe we will ever reach gender equality, so I was being stubborn about not watching Ted Lasso. No, I will not watch your comedy with Jason Sudeikis about football. Yeah, I hate football. I don't like it. The most football I've ever watched in my life was watching Beckham's documentary, sorry. Which I enjoyed. I stand with Victoria Beckham. I don't like watching football, but if I like someone who's playing, I will enjoy watching them. But yeah, I finally watched the show and I should have done it already. But you know what? I'm going to establish this from the very beginning. Throughout the first season, the amount of jokes that I came up with involving the situation between Jason Sudeikis, Olivia Wilde, and Harry Styles, the amount of jokes I came up with were not moral. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. Like, the potential for jokes is insane. However, I will not make them. I will say one thing. If you are among those people who shits a lot on Harry Styles because he broke Olivia Wilde's marriage, seek help. It's none of your business. I hadn't seen anything with Jason Sudeikis before, but he was great in Ted Lasso, so I like him. Olivia Wilde is a great actress and a good director, despite what everyone said about Don't Worry Darling. I liked Booksmart, and I like her as an actor, so I like Olivia Wilde. And Harry Styles is Harry Styles, so of course I like him. So I like the three of them. And that's that. Now about Ted Lasso. It was so much fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning, I thought, so this is like a smarter version of Michael Scott. I see it. But then I realized that it wasn't really a little bit, but it wasn't it wasn't really a smarter version of Michael Scott. And what I love, the thing I love the most about this season of television was the very end of the... That was so funny and so smart. I need to research this more because I think Jason Sudeikis actually wrote the show, right? He didn't just act in it, but the whole time you are a bit annoyed by Ted. You're always thinking, like, how are you so like, what's wrong with you? Where are your hard days? And you see it a little bit. You see the hard days a little bit. But then you get to the end of the season, and I haven't watched, like, any of the other seasons yet because I wanted to record this first and not be, like, biased by that. But you get to the end of the first season, and... Do y'all remember how it ends? It ends with Ted Lasso and the owner of the club. I forgot her name. The badass blonde woman owner of the club. They are like toasting because she's going to keep him and they're going to turn the club into a great club and they're going to get back into the main league again. I don't remember the name of the leagues. I don't watch football. I'm so sorry. But they're like committed to this and then... And then Ted Lasso drinks sparkling water, which calls back to the beginning when he was doing a press conference and he drank sparkling water and like he just spat on the journalists because he wasn't expecting it to be sparkling water. And Ted Lasso drinks sparkling water and he spits it on the woman's face. I forgot her name, on her face, and then she looks her in the eye. She looks at her as her face is covered in his spat water. She looks her dead in the eye and asks her, "Oh, did I get you?" That was the best part of the whole season. Best part of the whole season, because the show tells you right then and there that Ted Lasso knows exactly what is going on. He isn't like Michael Scott at all, who appears to be all the time oblivious of what real life is. Like Michael Scott lives in a fantasy of his own creation. And Ted Lasso, for like the majority of season 1, also appears to live in a fantasy of his own creation. He sees everything in a positive way. He reacts to things in a way that he's not supposed to react to them. Like he reacts way too positively and too nicely to everything. And then you get to the end of the season and you realize, oh, he isn't living in his own fantasy. Like he understands exactly what's happening. He just chooses to ignore it. Like he spat on her face, and he knew exactly what he did. He looked at her face and he could see that she was wet from his spat water, and he still asked her, "Oh, oops, did I get you?" And it's just so absolutely hilarious to have this contrast of this supposed, like, positive, wholesome American spirit in the middle of British people who are known to be like closed off and cold. And the comedy that comes from it is amazing, because I just burped in the middle of saying that. Anyway, the comedy that comes from that is amazing, because it is like a well-known fact that American comedy and English comedy are very different comedies. And of course they can like understand each other, but it's like, I guess, a joke that British humor is so dry that it's hard to even catch it. And having the combination of these things of like British humor and American humor in a show about football, which is another big joke, because in the US they don't even call it football, and it's something that annoys everyone around the world all the time. Like, I don't care about football. I don't watch it. I don't give two shits about it. But I loathe it. I loathe it when I hear someone in the US call it soccer. It annoys me to hell. I think it's just like ingrained in our genes as Europeans. But yeah, the clash of comedy was really funny and it worked. And I'm forgetting how to speak. Like, I don't watch comedy shows a lot because I tend to think they're not that funny. Friends, The Office. But Ted Lasso was genuinely funny. Like, genuinely funny. I was laughing out loud for a big part of it. And it's great that it has a well-built character, that the hint to who this person is, who this person really is, the hints are given slightly over the episodes, but that very last scene was just amazing. I loved it. So great character, good comedy, like good comedy. I laughed for a big portion of the show. And the spirit of it is very wholesome and cute. And to me, it was just, it was the perfect irony. It was so it was so funny, silly to me that we have this one character that is supposed to encompass, that is supposed to be a representation of the wholesome, extremely positive American spirit. All the while, the entire audience knows that this spirit is not real. It doesn't exist. Like, if in Michael Scott, the fantasy is created by himself, if he lives in a fantasy of his own creation, in Ted Lasso, the character lives in a fantasy that all of the people from the US believe in, that there's this American spirit that is represented by Ted Lasso, which doesn't exist. It's just not real. It's like the American dream. It's something you believe in when you're a child watching Disney Channel all day. And then you grow up and you're like, oh, it's just a lie to feed capitalism. Great. And Ted Lasso is that character. Like, he looks very wholesome, very positive, very American wholesomeness, and it's just a lie. It's just a TV show. And I think that's just, like, that was a layer of the show that I incredibly appreciated, because I don't even know if it was intended. I don't even know if Jason Sudeikis or whoever wrote this show intended to be ironic about this. And it just came off that way, at least to me. And amazing. Now, good character, great humor, decent irony. What else? The romance between the girl influencer and the old footballer. Amazing. Loved it. I love the friendship between the two women, like the boss and the influencer. Lived for it. In the beginning, I thought that Jason Sudeikis' character, Ted Lasso, was going to get together with the boss of the club, and I was preparing to hate it, and I'm still preparing to hate it if it happens, but I hope it doesn't. I'm gonna watch. I think it's 2 more seasons, right? And I really hope it doesn't happen. That's not what their relationship looks to be about, and baby girl needs time for herself. Like, oh my god, that man, the other owner of the club, her ex-husband, I wanted to grind him. I wanted to grind him in a meat grinder. That's how much I detested that man. Honestly, props to the actor because he played it so well. When I hated him, I could pinpoint any of his interactions in the show, any frame. Any single 1 second frame with that man, hate, rage, and get me a meat grinder. Coach Beards also annoys me profoundly. Nathan I love. Protect Nathan at all costs. But Coach Beard, for some reason, I think it's the chess. I liked how the show kind of inserted certain serious aspects into it and like played it for a wholesome moment, like at the end when we see the young star footballer being scolded by his father, which is insane, like a grown-ass man being scolded by his father. And then we have the moment of Ted Lasso going to the team and being like, yeah, maybe you were going through a rough time, but at least we're going through it together and not alone. That was very wholesome. I appreciate, like, I'm kind of a sentimental person. I'm a little bit like the US people in that regard. I'm very melancholic and sentimental. And if you do wholesome things, it's going to get to me. And I'm going to eat it up every time. So I enjoy when they do those moments in Ted Lasso. The biscuits that he made for the boss were really cute. His scenes playing football with the schoolgirl were really cute. The day that he goes with his player to the school to talk to the kids, cute. him winning the darts. That was such a silly scene, but it was very cute and I appreciated it. Yeah. So I wanted to do this review after season 1 because I was very surprised of how much I enjoyed it, and clearly I had a few things to say, but I think I'm going to watch the rest of the show and then do a video afterwards just telling you what I thought about the rest of the seasons, and yeah, any comments I might have. If there was any aspect of the show that you wanted me to pay more attention to and I didn't, please comment it down below. I sometimes, and I think this happens to everyone, don't really appreciate certain things in a TV show or in a movie or in a song or in a book until I rewatch it or reread it. So I might have missed something. Let me know. And tell me what you think about Ted Lasso, the character. There's no way he's that naive. There's no way he's naturally that positive. And I mean, we've seen him kind of angry or sad once. But what do you think about him? I want to know. I want to know what the people who voted for me to watch Ted Lasso, I don't know what you think about Ted Lasso. And yeah, I'll come back to you in a few weeks with the review of the rest of the show. If for some reason I feel like I should make a video after season 2 and another one after season 3, I will do that, but I don't think so. I think I'll just binge all of it and make another video at the end. But yeah, that was it. I hope you enjoyed it. I will potentially have a lot of people disagreeing with me because that tends to happen. But yeah, see you, I think, in a couple days with Silo episode 9. We're getting close. We're getting close to seeing Juliette walk to Silo 17, 18. I cannot freaking wait. If I have to wait until season 3 to see baby girl back there again, I will be in pain. Anyway, bye-bye.